Putang ina mo! Putang ina mo!
What's up YouTube? It's your boy Dashing Kevs and this is week 9 of the TPCCBL Draft League. I am the coach of the Duterte Durants and this week we take on the Machine Bionic Luka and the Snarling Sableyes. So this match is very favorable for us. It's very hard for us to lose this match in terms of the team composition. Cinderace just beats the whole team and will be our biggest key to victory. I'm expecting Hydreigon, Klefki, Thwackey, Sylveon, Blissey, and Scrafty to come. Maybe his Maxmon would be Scrafty or Hydreigon if I were to guess. Now, looking at match preview, he didn't bring the Blissey as well as the Scrafty as well as the Klefki actually. So he has Clang, Max Flareon, and Sableye. Very interesting. I didn't think Sableye would come just because its best move would be to Will-O-Wisp one of my attackers, which in this case would only be the Hitmonchan since both Cinderace and Croak would be immune to that. But you know, maybe he knows something we don't. So let's go ahead and check out the game and see how it went. So we lead off with Cinderace here as he goes Hydreigon. Now I go for the low sweep here, predicting it to switch out or do a, what do you call this move? Nasty Plot. Now the switch out is very predictable just because I could very well had high jump kick here, would definitely kill. But it goes for Surf and that kills. So very unfortunate for us, turn 1, we lose our biggest win condition in Cinderace. So at this point I thought, oh shit, am I gonna lose this one? We just lost to Paul last week and it looks like we may lose our most favorable matchup. Like there really isn't a reason for us to lose this one unless we really misplay, just like what happened in turn 1. I could have very well just went what do you call this, U-turn, which would do just a little more damage if anything, but I felt risky and went for the low sweep. So it is what it is. I bring out Toxtricity here. He switches to Clank as we go for a Boom Burst. So the reason I went for a Boom Burst was just because I didn't want Thwackey to come in and, you know, resist it and maybe get a good hit on us, and also because Hydreigon may survive the overdrive. So we do guarantee to outspeed because of that low sweep. If anything, we got some momentum out of it. And we activate our Throat Spray. We go Shift Gear here. As we go Shift Gear as well, we go for the Overdrive, do a shit ton of damage. I was actually surprised it survived the Overdrive. And then all this time I thought it was Clank, but it was just Clank. So he had the ability to get Eviolite, so that's how he was able to survive that. And right now it looks very dangerous for us. We lost Cinderace. He's +2 attack, +3 speed. But amazingly enough, we were still able to outspeed. Oh my god. Oh, he was actually +4 speed, and we were able to still outspeed it. He goes for Flareon here. I didn't mind switching, I just went for the Boom Burst, even though the Vaporeon switch would have been really good there. He goes for Max Steel Spike, I don't know why. Maybe he was predicting. But what could he have been predicting? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But he gets the defense boost, which is good for him. He goes for Max Knuckle, that's not gonna do shit. So we're able to get a free kill. That was a very free kill. And he goes to Thwackey here. Now, the only way Grassy Glide would kill is if he's banded, I would assume. I don't think Grassy Glide would kill if it wasn't. But I don't know. I didn't really run the calc on that. We go Hitmonchan here. Go for a Fire Punch. We do good damage. He reveals to be Rocky Helmet. Get some recovery back. We go Crook here on the predicted Toxic or Willow. He told me after the game that he didn't have Willow. So that was very good for us. Now, at this point, we don't really have much to do since our resources are very limited. We have two defensive mons and one offensive mon and one just there to hit priority on maybe the Thwackey or the Hydreigon. So I decide to max here. Go for the Airstream to guarantee the outspeed. We outspeed the Hydreigon now. He goes for a knockoff. That's not gonna do shit since we don't have any items. He goes for a recover. Now he tries to recover spam. I go for the Steel Spike just so we can get a +1 defense for the future. He goes for recover here as we go for the Max Quake that does a shit ton of damage. Now at this point it's just gonna be recover versus Earthquake and eventually we will crit. We normally do around 50 damage, maybe more depending on the roll, but we're definitely gonna win this exchange. As you can see, we do 51, so we will eventually get the better of that. He goes Hydreigon here. He goes Sableye on the switch as we go for close combat. Very smart plays on his part. He gets a recover as well. So we just keep spamming EQ. Maybe he thinks we'll run out of PP, but he'll definitely run out of PP before we do. And yeah, we're totally fine just doing this because he will get chipped down eventually. Oh yeah, so there you go. We got the roll we needed. We're at +1 now. Goes for Thwackey here. He goes for the Grassy Glide and that crit. That crit really mattered because if we were able to get the knockoff there, +1 knockoff, I think that kills. I'm pretty sure that kills. So at this point, it looks really grim for us. It was banded Grassy Glide crit. Goes for Grassy Glide that doesn't do anything to our Skarm. We try to go for Iron Defense. Go Sylveon here, we go for a Body Press. We do a decent chunk. Goes for Protect, get some recovery back. We go Iron Head. But I think at this point, the damage difference is negligible. He goes for Thwackey here. We go for Iron Head. Goes for a knockoff. We get the kill with Body Press. Now, at this point, I think the best thing to do was just to... I didn't really know what to do, to be honest. I think, like retroactively, I think it would have been better to go Hitmonchan. We have high speed def. He's not likely gonna go Draco anyway. And if anything, we can just get a hit on it. But it's really not on our favor because he can really freely switch between the two mons. So, predicting that he doesn't go for the fire move, I just go for Body Press, see if we can kill. It's just interesting to me that he had... I guess Flamethrower is necessary since he doesn't have the best ways of dealing with Skarm. I bring out our Hitmonchan here. He goes for Flash Cannon. We go for the Drain Punch. So I definitely went for the Drain Punch just because we don't want Sylveon to have high HP if ever it decides to switch in. I go for the Bullet Punch here. We do a good chunk. He goes for Hyper Voice, gets the kill. Now, I was hoping we could win the Vaporeon versus Sylveon late game battle, but we don't do shit to it with our what do you call this, our Scald, and we don't really have Toxic. So I'm just gonna let it play here. This will go on for a few turns, but what's gonna happen eventually is, even though we have Healing Bell, Toxic has more PP, so we're not gonna win this exchange. He's definitely just gonna keep spamming Toxic, spamming Protect. We try to go for the Yawn here and there. Doesn't really matter because we don't really have any way of breaking through that bulk. Probably the better play would have been to do the late game battle with Vaporeon and Sylveon. Once that happens, we could possibly fall to the Sylveon at a low HP, and then we can get the Bullet Punch on Hitmonchan. But it's still very unlikely, to be honest. It's so hard to see that happening. Even though we are a bit faster. Probably if Skull just did more damage, that could be a possibility, but yeah. We definitely made some misplays here. The biggest one would be the first turn low kick with Cinderace. Had we not done that, it was really hard for us to lose this game. And even then, we were able to bring it back had that crit not happened. So if you take out that crit there, the knockoff does KO Thwackey at +1, and we get the boost. And with that boost, we did have I believe the Steel move. I don't remember the set, to be honest, but we definitely had so we had Max Air, we had the EQ, we had Close Combat, and I believe we had Knockoff. So we may have done, if anything, a good chunk to Sylveon, and even if he survives because there would be terrain at that point, I believe Hitmonchan just wins at that point. He survives let's say we go for Knockoff just so we get the lefties out, because there was terrain during that time, so we would do less damage with the EQ anyway. So he survives the knockoff. He goes for the Hyper Voice. He gets the kill. His life is probably around Mach Punch range at that point, because that is a +2, or it would have been a +2 knockoff. And without any lefties, he would fall to the Bullet Punch. Hydreigon comes in, falls to Mach Punch, and that would have been GG at that point. Definitely a lot of things could have gone our favor this game, but he really played amazingly well as it took a combination of us making misplays and some hacks because of that crit. So it is what it is. I got really salty for this game just because our mocks for this game was total domination. It wasn't even close. I mean, I guess it was close for a few games, but once I built this team exactly, it wasn't close for us to potentially lose. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. It's kind of funny that as I'm rambling on about the game, what could I have done better? How could I have possibly won this? How well he played? The game is still going on between Vaporeon and Sylveon. But yeah, we lose this game 1-0, and hopefully we definitely need to win the next game for us to be in top 8. And even if we win, it really depends on how the other players play. If certain people win their matches, they can squeeze us out of top 8. And it will also depend on the differential we will be getting for that. Next week's gonna be definitely harder than this week, just because of the team composition. There are definitely better ways for our week 10 opponent to win rather than the machine Bionic Luka. So it is what it is. I think at some point playing this game, I don't even wait for the. I'm not sure if I waited for the. What do you call this? For the. What's that move? For that heal bell to run out, I just said screw it, I'll just spam Scald and just give him the win, you know. No point having the boys watch this game take forever, even though the game was decided like 40 turns earlier. So yep, that's gonna be the video. If you enjoyed the content, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers!